So more footage was just released of Irina Zaretska, the Ukrainian woman who had her life ended on a subway in Charlotte, and it just gets even sadder. This is the footage immediately after she was attacked and stabbed in the neck. So it looks like the man in the gray immediately gets up and walks away, walking right past Irina without saying a word or even checking on her. Right after, this lady and this man also get up and leave, and the two people in the back seem to stay put, but not a single person went to help her. You can see the fear in her eyes right after this happened and the confusion as to why. She then immediately looks to others for some sort of assistance or comfort, but receives nothing. All as she is visibly bleeding out onto her clothes and on the floor in literally her last moments. And as she realized what just happened, she begins crying to herself all alone. Maybe if one of these people tried to help her in any way, she could still be here today. Rest in peace to Irina. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
His ass want that goddamn crazy. His ass seen a victim. He seen an easy one, an easy kill, and he took it. Y'all talking about some goddamn mental health. Everybody ain't just mentally off. A lot of these motherfuckers are demons. And y'all keep giving them excuses. That man was a demon. That's it, that's all. Y'all talking about mental health. So goddamn what? Weird as hell.
Did you know the judge that released this guy didn't even go to law school? Yeah, not even a lawyer. Yeah, these magistrate judges that are making a decision to release these people without bail, yeah, they're not even lawyers. They didn't go to law school. They didn't pass the bar. They just got appointed to be judges. No training required. Oh yeah, and that's the case in states like North Carolina, South Carolina, West Virginia, Texas, Arizona. They don't even have to be lawyers, but they can be judges. They don't have to go to law school. They don't have to pass the bar. However, they sit in judgment over people who did. How the fuck is this a thing? How the fuck do we have judges who didn't even study the law? How did this ever become a thing? That's one of the most insane things I've ever heard. Like, to be somebody's lawyer, you have to go to law school, you got to pass the bar. Like, just to represent a client, you have to do that. To be able to prosecute that person, you got to go to law school, you got to pass the bar. But to be the judge, to be the person overseeing these lawyers, to be the ultimate arbiter of the law, you don't have to go to law school, you don't have to pass the bar. How is this a fucking thing?
Did you know that horrible, heinous attack to that young Ukrainian girl in Charlotte, North Carolina on that train happened over 2.5 weeks ago? 2.5 weeks, and that story was kept quiet because this individual, take a good look at her, Mayor of Charlotte, Vi Lyles, didn't want the story released to the public. Was she afraid that Trump was going to get a whiff of it and send the National Guard into Charlotte and clean up the mess there? Well, he knows now, and I hope he sends them in. Let's take a look at this New York Post article and look at the last paragraph. Charlotte's Democratic mayor, she even thanked publications that chose to keep the video from the public. Do you believe that? She didn't want this out to the public? Unbelievable. Now let's take a look at this person. You ready? Take a good look at her. That's Judge Teresa Stokes. Take a good look. She was the last person, the last judge to let that thing back out on the street. After 14 prior arrests, she let him back out on the street. I'm sure having the same skin tone as her helped too. Yeah, failed progressive policies, no cash bail, no consequences whatsoever. You know, the real patriots of this country who want law and order and safe, clean cities have had enough. The fact that there's individuals protesting in Chicago and DC not to have Trump come in there and clean up the mess and the crime is absolutely mind-boggling to me. The real people, the real patriots of this country, we had enough.
Rest in peace to Irina Zaretska. And this is what the fuck I was talking about when I made a video about a week ago saying that black people can be racist to white people too. Because if this is not an act of racism, then I don't know what the fuck is. On that video, 99% of the comments are white people saying thank you. If it was a black person, it was a stupid comment like, black people can't be racist to white people. And you know what the sick part is? Black people know that my statement was fucking true. If this was the other way around, God forbid, if we had seen this happen the other way around, a black girl get killed by a white man, fuck, you'd have Black Lives Matter shit everywhere within 5 minutes or less. So where's all the white lives matter? The fuck?
We will not let a progressive DA keep this case. Justice will be served. He'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. He had 14 prior arrests. He had been to prison before for assaulting someone, robbery with a firearm. He had had 3 assaults, 1 on a woman, not charged, yet he made multiple 911 calls again, gets arrested, and was told to appear because he wrote a written promise to appear in court. Had he been held in custody, she would be alive today. This has zero to do with politics. I've been a prosecutor for a very, very long time. This is one of the most gruesome murders I've seen in my career. President Trump cares about it. I was with him today because he saw that video. He saw that horrific video of this young woman with her mother who fled to our country for protection from Ukraine. She worked at a pizza restaurant. She was coming home from work, still wearing her uniform, got on that bus, and never made it off the mass transit.
People keep trying to make a GoFundMe for the man who took the life of the 23-year-old woman on the bus for no reason, claiming that he is also a victim. They claim he deserves legal defense because it's not all his fault, because he was never given the help that he needs. Mind you, Brown is a 14-time offender with schizophrenia who was just arrested earlier in the year because he called police saying that he has something in his body controlling him, making him do bad things. Even though the judge failed in this situation, why in the world will we give him money so he can win his case? What is wrong with y'all? An innocent 23-year-old who came here as a refugee to get away from violence not only lost her life to a dangerous man, but also to a system that failed and kept letting this dangerous man out. Why are y'all donating money to try to help him? Help him with what? Put Brian in jail and call it a day. Now, you do have a lot of people on social media arguing, stating that some are trying to use this situation to cause, you know, the little online war about this that keeps going back and forth. I'm not going for that. Rest in peace to her. Brother needs to be locked up.
Here's why no one stepped in to save Irina Zaruska on that Charlotte train. Nobody wants to be a Daniel Penny. Do you guys remember him? Daniel Penny was a Marine vet who restrained a violent man on a subway after he threatened passengers' lives. Instead of being called a hero, he was dragged through the mud and put on trial. Daniel was white. The violent man was black. People saw what happened to him and thought, better stay out of it. And because of that fear, Irina slipped away alone. Meanwhile, think about the double standard. When George Floyd passed, cities burned. Black squares flooded social media. Pastors preached, businesses rewrote policies. Billions went to BLM. All because it was framed as a race issue, even though there was no proof that race played a role. But here, a Ukrainian refugee stabbed by a man who had 14 priors, caught on video, bragging about it. All they have to say is, well, hurt people hurt people. And then you have the mayor of Charlotte saying we need to have sympathy for this man. There's no protest, no sermons, because it doesn't fit their narrative. This is the America we've created. Protect the criminal, abandon the innocent, and punish anyone who tries to step in.